I'm having an audio issue. Dottie, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. All right. Good evening. It is 7:01 PM. I will call the Tuesday, December 19th, 2023 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. All three selectmen are present, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from December 5th, 2023.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on these minutes?
I'm good.
Yeah, I read through them. They look good.
Okay, me too.
As
All
always.
in favor of approving the meeting minutes from December 5th, 2023, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, correspondence. I want to point out, I received something in the selectman's office from a woman by the name of Jessica DiCostanza, I think it was. I can't quite read her handwriting. It was addressed to myself and to Suzanne, which would render it a Board of Selectmen because two of us, but did you get a copy of it, Suzanne, at all in the mail?
No,
Okay.
No,
so it was just sent
just
to the
from you,
office,
yeah.
certified mail. The woman had concerns that we were operating a kill shelter. I did send her a letter back because she didn't provide a phone number. All I had was her address, so I did send her a letter back. And explained the wonderful work that the animal control officer has been doing. I did provide stats for the number of rescues and adoptions that had gone through. The shelter is fuller than it's ever been for the last 6 months, and successfully the animals have been adopted. Unfortunately, there have been a couple of euthanasias because of sick animals or injured animals. But we don't operate a kill shelter, and I made that very clear.
good.
So that our animal control officer does her very best to take very good care of the animals in town, all animals. And currently, right now, she has a homing pigeon. That's going to be up for adoption. It was injured. It was attacked by a hawk, and it's currently being nursed, and then it will be available if the owner doesn't come forward. She did trace the owner back to Chicago, believe it or not. It's very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
That is. I was really taken back by the letter because I know that we don't run a kill shelter. I know that we do everything possible to connect and reunite people, and as somebody who's rescued 3 animals, that was, yeah, it kind of shocked me, but I think that people have to understand you can put anything in the shopper's guide or on Facebook, and it's not always the reality or the truth.
Right.
So I'm glad that you sent a letter out.
I know that we did have a discussion with the ACO at the last meeting
mhm.
over a variety of things, and so some of this was addressed,
Yeah.
of concern back then.
Is there any other correspondence to bring before the board?
No.
All right. We will open the floor to selectmen comments. Agenda item 5.
Well, we survived the storm.
Well, as we know, just talking before, we still have several hundred people still without power. It'll be a difficult night, but hopefully we can get them up as quickly as possible, and I'm sure that the pressure will be applied. That's within our purview as best as we can.
I don't usually do this, but I put the scanner on my phone yesterday because we didn't have internet, we didn't have power, and there was nothing else to do. And someone I know, if that's a fireman, was out from 6 a.m. in the morning until I don't know what time he got home last night, but the tones went out every 5 minutes from QV dispatch. It was unbelievable. From trees down to basements to medical calls to, it was, so thank you to those volunteers that spent the entire day and probably most of the day today helping to clean up from this storm, because our volunteers in town are just some of the most amazing people, and we are so thankful to have them. that I just want to give a shout out,
Uh,
acknowledge them.
touching on that, I agree with you because once the power goes out, the bells, the whistles and stuff that's powered by that power go,
Right.
starts to sound off. People get concerned, rightfully so, alarms. So I'm guaranteed they were out straight for the whole sound, for the whole storm. And like you said, kudos to them, as well as our emergency management team that was orchestrating that as well. And our highway department, I'm sure they had their hands full trying to assist CLMP wherever they could and open up as much in order to aid the fire departments to get out where they're going. So it was a combined effort and like I said, hopefully we'll get the power up sooner rather than later.
Right. Agreed. My sentiments exactly. Those were in my notes, thanking the DPW, thanking the fire departments.
sorry.
Emergency management kept the operations center open all day into the evening. They were right there to answer any questions I had. So thank you both, Steve and John, for your work. Your volunteerism is appreciated. As far as Eversource, yes, I believe they dropped the ball. I believe they didn't prepare for what happened. But the worst thing was is they left town last night and nobody was working. And when Joe got up this morning and all the streets that were blocked were still blocked, nothing had been touched. Those types of things will be addressed, and Steve and I already talked about calling a meeting that will encompass Eversource and emergency management, Joe from highway, Lars from highway, and then myself. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And can I add to that?
mistakes happen, but when it comes to road closures and blocked roads, that needs to be a priority.
Well, we just had a storm a week or so ago of the same
But I think,
nature.
but it was,
Uh,
the wind on this one was worse.
no,
Yeah,
but I'm just
yeah,
saying, but
and
it's
the
the
rain.
building, they should have known.
Mhm.
And here they are going to Pura and they want all these increases on top and they couldn't even
Exactly.
handle this little storm. They really need to, hopefully Pura looks at this and say, really, guys?
Right.
Oh, I agree with that.
Mhm.
But the two of you are volunteers, Steve and John, and so thank you for everything that you do for our town. I didn't say that earlier. I apologize.
On a lighter note, Winter Market was a complete success. There are some tweaks we want to make to it. The Thompson seniors were able to raise from the Festival of Trees over $1,000.
Ooh.
There were 86 horse-drawn wagon rides, not hayride, but horse-drawn wagon rides through Main Street. There would have been more, but the driver fell ill. So we let him go. But at that point, I think the majority of people that wanted the rides got the rides. It was spectacular. So we met today, did a wrap-up meeting, have some plans. We do plan to have it on a Saturday next year. And hope to start advertising for it early. To
Excellent.
make it an even bigger success. There's dreams of having lights in Riverside Park and the horse-drawn wagon rides through Riverside Park in the future. I said, let's start small and grow it organically and see where we can go with that. So hopefully with vision, we can make it happen.
I agree.
Holiday concerts, I've been to both, or winter concerts. I went to the high school concert a couple weeks ago. And then today was the elementary school concert, and they were both superb. Lots of talent in the school and great teachers who just really inspire creativity and uniqueness in the program. So I was excited about that. The assessor's informational session that we had, I think it was back on December 7th, was attended by about 25 people.
Wow.
It was all about the revaluation process, so people could come and ask questions. So that we did during the day. We're gonna do a second one on January 4th at 6 p.m. So hopefully we'll get the messages out about that, and hopefully we end up with a similar crowd of people that come with questions. And that's all I have.
And you're doing that where?
Okay.
Here in the Senate. Yep. And we recorded the last one, so that recording is posted on the website. But if you want to come live and ask Paul any questions that you might have, it's a great opportunity to understand the reval process.
And the maps are out for the holiday lights?
Yes, the maps for the holiday lights are out too. Yes,
Excellent.
so grab one.
Okay.
Yeah,
The last comment, obviously from the board and to everybody, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas.
Please be safe out there, enjoy,
Mhm.
you know, your family and friends, and let's start the new year off on a positive note and not by tragedy.
Yeah, agreed.
It's hard to believe that we're winding down and this is our last meeting of 2023.
Yeah.
But, yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy safe New Year.
Absolutely. All right, we'll move on to citizen comments. At this time, we'll start with the virtual audience. Any citizen comments? Ms. Valerie Clark.
Graham, hi, Valerie Clark, Elm Road. Couple of things. One is on the agenda, not on the agenda, on the minutes. There were a couple of items in the second citizens' comments. I think Sally's comments and mine might have gotten swapped. And it wasn't the selectmen's agenda that didn't get posted, it was the selectmen's minutes that didn't get posted.
Oh.
Oh, I
Um,
thought that looked weird.
Yep, and so that those were on the minutes. Going to the storm thing, first thing is that people need to remember that the roads are wet and the temperatures are dropping tonight. There's going to be black ice everywhere. So, you know, if people can be cautious, that would be great. And last night after the town meeting, I'm sure Amy remembers that I pulled her aside to thank her for the response the town gave to the emergencies that were happening, particularly in my area. But then I came home to find that although Eversource had showed up, I would love to talk to someone about Eversource, what they did to quote unquote correct the problem. What they did was they dumped the problem literally on the town. And in addition to that, we came home to find them in our driveway about to unplug our generator because they couldn't tell from their equipment whether there was electricity flowing through the wires. So they were going to unplug our generator thinking that that would be a good test when our house is completely disconnected from the grid when our generator is running because it's a legal installed inspected system. It was very distressing to find that out. We were lucky we got home from the town meeting when we did. So, and then there are other issues, but something I was thinking about, because I like to think about how we can set expectations appropriately. I would love to see a informational session for the public or a pamphlet for the public about what to expect from Eversource in an emergency like this. What are their responsibilities and what should they literally dump on the town? I'm disappointed because I really think Eversource should have cleaned up the problem last night. They should have taken care of the problem, not caused a new one for the town. And I'm disappointed that our tax dollars are spent cleaning up after Eversource. I wanted to make sure I shared that, but mostly I was very impressed with the work the town did. And this morning, you mentioned Joe, I don't know who I passed on the road, but they had been out resetting safety pylons and road signs and making sure that people were safe, which had not been done last night. So thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. And I wanted to say during my selectmen comments that Joe has planned to bring the staff in early in the morning to salt those patches of ice that we do anticipate. So that's already been being planned, to time it with giving enough time to get the ice melting for when the buses go out. So I did mean to tell that. And I also mentioned to the staff, Marie in particular, I did mention your comments from last night and thanked her for the work that she does and the Public Works team as well.
Yep, they were great. Absolutely great. No doubt about that at all. It's Eversource that left a mess last night. And
Yep.
you already commented on that. So thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. Any other, I don't think there's any other citizens in the virtual audience. Any comments from the live audience? Citizen comments from the live audience? All right. With that, we will move on to agenda item 7, Teague building proposal. And we do have Ann Miller and
Allison Rich.
Allison Rich,
Not more.
Scott Moorhead.
So Allison is here. She is one of my colleagues at Teague, and she has been sitting on our building committee. She also is a Thompson resident. Scott is on our board and has been sitting on our building committee as well. Scott is an engineer, so we're happy to have him on that committee and on our board. Kind of like him. He is a resident of East Putnam, and I am a resident of Pomfret.
Okay.
I am here as the executive director of Teague. So, as you know, and for any of you who would like to look at these, you are most welcome to do so. As you know, the building that we have currently sits on the land that the school sits on. So it's on town land, it's on the school land. We pay a lease of $1 a year to inhabit that building. And we've had that agreement now for, we think, 11 years. I think we were just about at 11 years. Yep.
Mhm.
When we moved into that building, we thought that that was the Taj Mahal and we were done. But what's happened, unfortunately, is that the need has grown. We are feeding twice the amount of people that we were feeding last year at this time. So as we have moved to the SWAP program, which is wellness, serving wellness at pantries, which means that we're doing a lot of healthy and fresh food. And since we have expanded some of our markets, also serving more people, we are needing more room. We're needing more room not only for our market, but we're needing more room for our programs. Our Christmas programs this year were huge, serving hundreds and hundreds of families. We had 100 families come through on Saturday alone, representing 278 children. And that was just on Saturday, and it has continued, and we'll still continue, probably serving a few more people tomorrow who haven't gotten there yet. So when the community response is so good and we have all of these materials coming into Teague, we need a place to put them. We need a place for office space. I wish that you could have been there last week to see just the plethora of things that we had bicycles in our bathrooms. And anyway, we started to look at the fact that we did not have enough room. Ken has been to a couple of our meetings, and Steve Lewis has been working on our plan. And what the committee came up with was that a separate building would give us the most bang for our buck. That if we were able to do this building, and what we hope to do is to fund it, the majority of it, with large grants through corporations, perhaps a state grant, and not take money from the area to build this building. We might look for one local matching donor, maybe two, but not taking or hurting our own budget to do this, because the need is so great. We don't want to do that. What we're looking for tonight, we've come to the selectmen before and said, is this something that you think we can pursue? And is this a place where you think we might be able to put it? And we had a yes, on that. But as we step into the next stage where we need to pay for plans that will allow us to start to explore what the cost of this building is, and to be able to seek grants to meet that cost, we just want to make sure that we have your full approval. The location of the new building, so if you look at this and you look at the existing Teague building here, also it can be shared. I did send slides to Marie last week.
Oh, send to me.
She didn't send it to you.
Yeah.
That's okay. All right, that's fine. The existing Teague building, as you see, faces into sort of the parking lot that is across, that is the extra parking lot, or the overflow parking lot for the school, for the schools. And The building would sit into the hill that sits at the back of that parking lot. We've added a few spaces for an extension over on the side to try to keep the parking lot big enough for everybody to use. You wouldn't lose a lot of spaces. We have a gray shipping container that sits right where that building would be now. We call her Dorian, for Dorian Gray, and that's really where we're proposing putting this building. Literary, you know.
I like that.
That's pretty good. We're hoping also to eventually have this building be a solar building, the building that we have now. We installed solar, I think Ken I was coming in, probably around 2016, 17, we got it in finally. And we are a net zero building. We would hope to make this building the same. This building would give us the ability to not only serve Thompson residents, Pomfret residents, Woodstock residents that use our markets, but it would also give us, well, there it is, there it is.
This is what she sent the selectmen, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to pull it up.
Okay, it would also give us it would give us the ability to hub food, so food comes from Wallingford, comes to this part of the state. We are very, very blessed to have a walk-in cooler and freezer, and we already hub food in and out for local pantries that we work with. But this would give us even a better capacity to keep all kinds of food and fresh food and frozen food. So before we step into this is really what we're looking for. We're looking to dig some sort of more telling pits. This part I don't understand. This is why I got stopped.
We did go out and dig some test pits, and we did find there was ledge in that hill going up. We originally were thinking the building would be in the wooded area and not in the parking lot at all, but that ledge comes up and the cost for blasting for a foundation would be ridiculous. So where we're putting the building, we've got enough test pits to realize that we probably don't have a ledge issue. We do need, as Ann said, we're going to look for designing plans and going for grant applications, so we would need some kind of formal blessing from the town that we do have the ability to use that piece of land to develop this building. Our next steps will be to get an architect to do more detailed plans. We'll probably get the surveyors out to verify grades, because no survey work's been done out there since before the Teak was built. And then possibly a few additional test holes to confirm the ledge locations. But the main thing tonight is we need the blessing from the town so we can move forward with confidence, because any kind of one of us going to give us a grant. This first question is like, well, can you do this? Do you have this town want to let you do this?
I think we would be seeking at that point an MOU from the town.
Right. So obviously, I don't think there's any qualms. I may be making assumptions, but I don't think there would be any qualms from this board, but Ken, maybe you remember when they built the main building. What are the hurdles that we have to go through? Is it going to have to be a planning and zoning approval? And then is it gonna have to go to town meeting for approval to use the land? I can't imagine it's just us.
I don't remember,
Okay,
because we had worked with it. It was all done with the money and volunteerism. John Rice is on tonight. He might, and he's on P and Z.
no, I think he jumped off. He wasn't connecting,
Yeah.
must
be.
right?
Well, probably. It is town property. The meetings that I attended and the discussions that we've had looking at this, we had initially looked at adding on to the existing structure. And there was just no way it wasn't built to do it. And in order to put it in there, there's just no room and it makes no sense at all.
We have 3 people sharing one desk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is
mean-
what seemed most feasible.
It's amazing we're starting out at 65 Main and figured we never outgrow
I know.
the office, and we have because of the need in the economy and the different programs. It is town, property, so we have that going for us. I would just double check with that. As far as supporting this, I don't see why the town or even P and Z would
Mhm.
not support this.
Right.
And they're looking at buying, and we'd be under the same contract as we were before. Ultimately, the town would be the owner of the
That was one of
building.
my questions.
Would be the owner of the building, doing the same type of lease.
You'd be
With
doubling
them.
your lease money.
Yeah, $2.
Hey,
You know,
does this impact the school at all? And their parking lots or anything like that?
The intent there is, we're gonna lose the parking spaces that are on that side of the parking lot, or we would expand the parking, you know, so like horseshoe, we would expand that out, so we wouldn't have a net loss of parking space, because we build some on the access road going up to the ball field too, so we wouldn't have a net loss of parking spaces at all.
You
it,
see that on this top sheet.
it
Yeah.
shouldn't infringe. It's also gonna give that additional parking for that office space upstairs. So that way you're not taking away from the parking downstairs, you know, at the lower level that the building will be taking on.
Right now, we all park across in that parking lot. We try to park around the edges so that anybody else who's using it can, you know, get closer to the building or closer to the school if the school's having something. School really only fills it a few times a year and during athletic events, really track events, really is what they use it for.
And that's my next question. Does that impact the track in any way, shape or form? It's perfect
Not
that
that
you're
I've
here.
ever
Actually, these parking spaces probably be more advantageous
Right.
than
Yeah.
the current parking.
Yeah.
And
Those would be my
how's
only
parking
two
lot
concerns.
Going to increase, I mean, because this is just because we need the space for the food
For the
pantry,
food pantry.
we need office space for the employees that are already there.
Mhm.
So, I mean, maybe in another few years, we might have another 1 or 2 employees, but it's not like we're gonna bring in 10 or 12 more people in the park. That's.
No, when we work with the school, whenever the school has an event or we have an event, we always talk to Bill Birch, to Melinda first to make sure that nothing is going to
Conflict.
conflict. I do think that it's a building that can flex to meet a lot of town needs. And it would move our existing cooler and freezer, we would plan to move over to this building so that the Teague office building would become more office. We're doing a lot of community work. When we became a youth service bureau in 2018 now, we really took on a lot more. There's a lot of things that come with serving youth the way that we're serving them that cause us to store things or have meeting space. We have a play group that meets in our community room now twice a week that sometimes has 30 children and adults all in there together. So we've really tried to use our space as well as we can, and we've just run out of space.
So I think it's just a matter of determining the proper procedure.
I would assume. Have you talked with the Board of Ed to make sure that they're aware that you wanted
Right.
to do that? Just
Yeah.
Just
That
to
could
be
be
as
one
a
of-
yeah,
That could be one of the approvals.
it could be,
potentially.
yeah, just to be courteous to the,
And make a presentation for them
Yep.
at some point.
to
probably.
be aware, yeah.
I would have to think they'd be on board. I mean, the programs that you do affect, you know, the
Just to
student.
be courteous.
No, I
was
said
my
it,
thought, Yeah,
that they would
Right.
be on board.
yeah, I
You
don't
do
know
your
that they,
presentation, but Teague is such an integral part of an awful lot of school programs, especially the youth stuff and everything else that's going on that,
I would hope that we could find more ways to partner with them through this building too. I think it would be a great. So you think that we should talk to the Board of Ed?
Yeah, I
Planning
think.
and
just as a
zoning?
courtesy,
I think
really, to,
My opinion was, I wanna just research tomorrow, Anne,
Mm-hmm.
and let's find an actual
And I'm gonna see John
checklist of
tomorrow.
things that we should do.
Sure.
And one of them, I'm assuming, will be going to the Board of Ed as well,
We'll do that.
and sharing it with all the
and
committees.
maybe there's some information from when it was done before too.
I mean,
really.
this is, to me,
That
it's
was-
exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad that we
It's-
have to expand
yeah.
on the food service program, but it's no better organization could we see doing this in town.
Thank you.
And we're very lucky to have you. And I think the majority of the 99.9% of the public would agree.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
I don't
Thompson is
see this being
definitely-
an issue.
Very lucky to have Teague,
Right.
and certainly we appreciate that and everything that you do.
this,
I know, and Pomfret I'm sure does as well, and Putnam, so,
And Woodstock.
No, it's not Putnam, is
No,
it
we do
Putnam?
serve Putnam for
Okay.
Youth, and we work with them on a lot of different social service.
Yeah,
So, yeah, we're
you've definitely grown leaps and bounds since 65 Main.
a little bit, right? I will talk to Donna Grant too, to find out. I'm sure that she has a good memory of different people that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And part of that, and John,
our town planner back then was Kevin Kennedy.
okay.
Okay,
That was, so it all should be here in the
Sarah might have
office.
some,
It should be in there
dig it up,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Because Kevin was
So
looking for money and stuff.
you'll follow up?
Yeah, and I'll give an update at the next meeting.
But,
Sounds good.
you know, like I said, the consensus with the board is it's a win for the town, it's needed for the
It's
town,
sad, but that it's
Oh.
needed, but yes.
yeah. So,
I was just asked when we might think we're gonna build or start, really step into this. It all depends on money.
Mhm.
And I would say we wanted a shovel-ready
Mm-hmm.
product that we could take to funders.
Mhm.
I would say maybe 2 years before we even thought about beginning anything. Does that sound right to you, Scott? You
Yeah,
haven't really-
by the time we get through getting grants, getting the funding, getting the final plans done, yeah, it's gonna take a while.
And you think you'll be able to fund it solely on grant funding?
I'm
And
hoping there will be some matching funds, but we would look towards some of our larger funders.
To help.
Not looking to do any fundraise. I feel strongly that, we can't be fundraising in this community for everything we do.
Well, the current-
It gives a lot.
the current building was done by volunteerism and grants.
Yeah, and we would run it the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was no town money put into it.
Some grant will ask us for, one grant we're looking at will ask us for some matching, but I think we look towards a large funder for that or two.
sounds like
You
you
know,
know what you're doing.
having the availability of land could be considered part of that matching as well, that you've got the land to
sure.
do it with.
Yeah,
So there's different ways.
well, that's smart, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all for everything.
Let
you
us
do.
know what we can do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
our
for
next
your-
meeting's on the second,
Second, yeah,
so.
yeah, we'll have an update. And a
I think
definitive
we'll
plan.
leave these with you, so that
Sure.
if people talk to you and are interested.
Oh,
you
that would
can-
be fantastic.
You can have them.
Thank you.
And we
We'll
also
have them
can
ready.
colors.
Okay. Okay, great.
Great.
Yeah, if you get a chance to talk with John, I mean,
Mhm.
isn't the
John Rice,
yeah,
I'm gonna see him tomorrow.
when is their
How are you?
next P and Z meeting?
The 20,
Right.
No, next Wednesday.
what, Tuesday? It's the day after, wait. Oh, sorry.
So
Oh,
if you-
Wednesday, it's the 28th, isn't it?
28th, I think,
I
yeah.
think it's the 28th.
is.
You're gonna do it on a Thursday?
Oh, then
It's
maybe
Wednesday night.
then
So it'd be the
27th.
27th.
27th, yeah.
27th.
So if we need if, just to cover the basis, because we won't be meeting till the second, that we put in a formal request to P and Z if needed
Mhm.
to approve the usage of the land,
Okay,
if that's required.
right, okay,
So that way they can get it on their agenda for Wednesday
right.
and
And I'll call Kathleen and see if we can get him to see the board of education. Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thanks, everybody.
All right, moving on to agenda item 8. Thompson Public Schools track RFP, open bids. We have one.
Oh.
Just name the company, only one came in.
Want me to do it?
Name the company, we do not need to call off the numbers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. It was delivered to us through the storm yesterday. It was on the front of the cover.
Oh, yeah. Mountain View Landscapes and Lawn Care out of Chicopee. I just wanted to look at it.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your time, then you can pass it on to them.
Yeah.
Not a name you would think that we'd be bidding lawn care.
Yeah, they do.
No, I'm just saying by.
Yeah, I know,
yeah,
they're very good.
They were one of the ones that came for the site walk, right?
Huh.
I don't know.
I think it was. Yeah. And we have a grant for that, right?
Yeah, 500. Let me.
Oh. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
There's an alternate too, so.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll hand this off. For the building committee.
Thank you very much.
Very good. At least we got one.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's see.
Agenda item 9, Thompson Public School Security RFP Award. Good morning, Amy. As you know, at the building committee meeting held on December 13th, the committee voted to accept the bid from Pelletier Construction Management to perform the renovation and safety work at the Thompson Public School Systems. Pelletier Construction Management was the low bidder for the project at $452,101. with an additional $5,000 allowance for repairing brickwork during the project for a total of $457,101. That is the recommendation from the building committee. Make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the building committee and award the bid to Pelletier Construction for the renovation and safety work at Thompson Public Schools buildings.
Second.
Okay, motion second by Ken. Any discussion on this recommendation? I think all of the documents were sent over to both of you.
No, I think they've worked very hard on going through and
The bid leveling sheet was provided. That was
Determining
very helpful.
what the needs are, what they want, so I'm fine with moving forward.
Any questions?
No,
from
just a
Brian
thank you
Valencia?
to the building committee for doing their due diligence.
We have a lot of projects they're juggling right now, for sure. And they all work really hard.
They do. Thank you.
Right, so all in favor of approving the recommendation from the building committee to award this bid to Pelletier Construction Management, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that passes, 3 ayes. Good to go. All right, agenda item 10, agreement regarding real property tax assessment abatement for the 929 River Mill project. I sent over to both of you, the current assessed value and the current taxes that are due. As well as the projected market value of the building once the renovations are complete. And then the assessed value when the renovations are complete, plus the abatement schedule. Years 1 to 10, after the project is completed, just so the audience knows what was sent. Taxes will be based on the value prior to development, so that base value of $1,280,510. Current taxes at that time will be paid $33,293.26. Years 11 through 15 will be that base value plus 25% of increased value, which will mean $229,720 in tax revenue. Years 16 through 20, base value plus 50% of increased value, which would be $426,147 in tax revenue. And then years 21 through 25, it will be base value plus 75% of increased value, or $622,573. Year 26 would be the full assessed value realized and $819,000 in taxes. As I had stated in the previous meeting, the base value may fluctuate depending up or down, depending on revaluations and market conditions when valuing the completed project. So these are just basic projections, but it is in the agreement. It does stipulate that revaluation could cause that base value to adjust as well. So if the value goes up, that base value would also increase. So it may not stay at $33,000 over, it may increase.
So that's the numbers that we currently have.
That's the current value. So. For purpose of discussion, I make a motion that we approve the agreement, that we enter into the agreement to provide real property tax assessment abatement with the River Mill Redevelopment LLC.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion and a second, open for discussion.
So question, if we enter into this agreement, and we set the precedence that in this district, building can happen and we can, would it hold us to offering this to someone, to another builder or another under the VAD? How would that affect other properties that?
And again, I don't have, not again, but I don't have the ordinance in front of me, but the VAD ordinance was very narrow. Vacant, abandoned, or delinquent. Very few properties fall into that category within this district. Additionally, there was that scale. So if someone was doing a small renovation, it wouldn't apply. As the amount of money that is spent on a project increases, I believe this, you had to spend $10 million or more. That's just off the top of my head, I'd have to pull up the ordinance to give you that firm amount. In order to get that 26-year
Abatement.
or 25-year abatement, you have to spend a substantial amount of money. What would qualify potentially is 630 Riverside Drive, the Belding Corticelli site. So really, those two sites were the target of this ordinance, were the target of entering into any agreement, not a lot of other sites. Or I don't believe there's really any that fall into it.
Which is good to know because, you know, we don't want. We want to encourage new businesses and we want to encourage redevelopment, but we also want to recognize the taxes that they bring in to help with our tax base. So
I think from my point of view,
this
the
is such a
mill-
massive project
Right.
that probably there isn't anything else other than 930 that fits into it.
and it's been like Rainey Moran said at last night's meeting, it's been so many years that he has not, I think he said 2011 was the last year he received any amount of taxes on that property. And at least we know that from go, we start receiving tax dollars for it
So
again.
can you with this abatement, we will receive tax with the agreement for the past taxes that the town voted on last night. We will also receive a payment on that as well. So the combination within the first year would be like a 60-something thousand coming in.
No,
No, okay, I'm
clarify,
misunderstanding.
to clarify, and we did make a small amendment. What comes in under what was agreed upon last night, what comes in under the tax sale lien, eventually will be a full $250,000 when the developer, River Mill Redevelopment LLC, receives title.
Okay.
And then,
And
but
that will
up until
happen-
then, you will get an initial $30,000 payment, which will knock the 250 down to 220. And then the taxes will stay current plus an additional 5,000. So from July 1 of 2024, we'll start receiving the 33,700 and change.
Okay, but 2024 is, July 1 is only 6 months away, so I get it, okay. So we
Plus
will,
another 5,000 that will be paying down that 250. From the moment the developer gets title acquires the property and title, he pays the town the entire, whatever remains of that 250,000, plus continues to pay the taxes.
okay, oh, I must, okay.
I mean, this is the.
I
one
don't
of the
want
la-
to read the agreement like
Yeah, this,
10 times.
yeah,
This-
but this is
No,
one
the
of,
other one.
Oh,
This
both
is-
of them, but I had to,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. This is one of the last pieces of the puzzle to get this developed in order to make it worthwhile to be done. You know, while people may say, well, you're extending the taxes out. Once it starts being, occupied, you start getting people living there. They're spending money in town. You're getting tax money from their vehicles, the money they spend, et cetera. And that all adds to the money, coming into the
Right.
grand list, as the area businesses and stuff. So while we may not, at the end of 25 years, and I hope I'm still here, we'll see the full value, but it's gonna lead and it's also gonna help develop other sections of the town. I mean, economic development is so invested in this, the Brownsfield monies that we have gotten for this, the sidewalks that we have done. This is all gonna lend into even helping us, with the Main Street
Main Street
sidewalk.
project,
You know, getting a buyer and a developer for 630. You have the old Quinn Shirt Shop as well. All these pieces are starting to come together and it's gonna go back to almost to the days where the mill was building up and starting in. Things were thriving and that's, we've gone down so many decades. And now we have that chance to go up in the other direction. Took us a long time to get here. It's gonna take us time to get out of it, but at least this is a positive direction.
Right.
It's better than having the hole over there and looking like 630,
Oh, yeah.
which we stopped,
Right.
in 16 when they came in and the town rallied for it. So this is very positive.
And I think the town rallied for the VAT ordinance too.
They did, and they
They did.
showed the support last night
so.
as well.
What I'm understanding is we have not received a tax payment on that property since 2011.
Correct.
So this would at least bring in some
Mhm.
taxes on it. And as Ken said, it will help to redevelop this area in town.
I think of the sewer too, and I think I mentioned that last.
Oh,
week.
there's gonna be
More units for sewer. because
300
sewer's
minimum
stagnant.
units just in the sewer hookup
Right,
per, one per apartment,
plus,
plus the commercial businesses that are gonna
you
be there
say
as well.
one, but there might be two per apartments,
Anything is possible depending on how they lay it out, but that also puts money into,
because it's not gonna be just 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms, it'll be, people want a master bathroom and they want a guest bathroom in their
Mhm.
apartments, it's
Yeah, but-
most likely gonna be two units per apartment.
I'd probably go maybe
Time
one,
frame.
1.5 on this at best. Because all of these apartments are all gonna be the same going up through, because he's gotta utilize the most space that he can.
Right,
That's right, he has to, without a doubt. So,
What
but
did you
that
say
gives
about
that
the ones?
influx into WPCA. It's gonna give the commercial business, that stuff coming
The
in.
projection that they will start to be renting out units, or that, because in my understanding, it's done in phases.
it is, the completion deadline is 10 years.
Totally,
December 31st of 2033 currently is what's proposed.
but as far as, wasn't there some talk that they would have 100 units done and they would be able to lease those out?
There will-
Staggered,
Well, they're gonna
correct.
do it in phases, I'm sure.
Right.
that's, do we have any timeline on when they actually think they might have one? No?
No, not at this point, but there's also factors that we're waiting for, like the brownfield cleanup grant money. We're trying to settle that. There's just one issue with the owner because they have to sign certain documents.
Hmm.
So that's been the holdup there.
Once he starts, the nails starts moving, occupancy is at the top of his list to get that
Oh, yeah.
occupied as quickly as possible and keep going through those phases in order for the ultimate completion. because it starts bringing in revenue so he can continue with his expansion, finding out the needs and, you know, it all works hand in hand. And an occupied building is a safer building.
Right. Oh, well, they've been desperately trying to keep it occupied.
Yeah,
with something.
Exactly. And you
It does-
want it to be occupied and so.
I read through this several times. I'm not an attorney. I'm not but did I understand that if for some reason the developer does not complete the project, that he would pay the full taxes? I did read that, right? Okay.
Yes. I'm just trying to find where it was. in
The-
here.
it
Yeah,
was
there's
at number
something
11
in
maybe?
there and there's also.
I read this several different times and I
And-
think I understood what I was reading, that if for some reason the project does fall through, because things do happen, we don't know what the future will hold, that he would be responsible for. And I also think I read that the thing that I kind of hesitated on was that it's transferable if he sells.
Now,
Oh,
That
no,
this,
this
though,
is a
the
different one.
abatement is transferable.
Yeah, that's the abatement. No, that's the
So the developer,
tax thing from last night. He can't sell that to another, as well.
yeah, that's
Uh,
different from
You know,
the,
in here, there is stuff in here for the developer. I mean, there may be something beyond his control that stops the development, that we have to agree that, and I'll just use DEP and something
then
that
it
comes
kinda-
up that has,
The
that,
second
you know,
paragraph
has to be ironed out and he
because
loses
then
a
it
year.
sounded like
That's beyond his control.
he had to have prior written consent from the town.
Which one?
14, it kind of,
Except as otherwise stated here, and developer recognizes and agrees that if the real property is transferred to any other entity without the town's prior written consent, which consent shall be in the town's sole and absolute discretion, this agreement shall terminate automatically and immediately. Yeah. So.
but the first
relatively
sentence
close to the
was
same.
that he can transfer and assign its interest in the, apparently that has to be with the consent of the town.
No, it says,
The whole,
in whole or in part by the, so. The developer may
He-
transfer and assign its interest in this agreement or in one or more of the parcels that constitute real property to an entity owned in whole or in part by the developer, which will assume the rights and duties of its assigner. Except as otherwise stated, the developer recognizes it can't be transferred to another entity without.
town's permission.
Right.
So he could set up another
Yeah, you gotta-
corporation. He could take on
4 times and I still
other
couldn't-
business
I
partners
think
and
by
then
the
change.
time I hit number 14, though, my head
Yeah.
was swirling.
You gotta read it in sections.
Yeah,
Sections
But
at a time.
there are safeguards in here that protect the town
Mhm.
and this schedule from.
Right.
And that's
I
what
just
we-
wanted
yes.
clarification because that's our job, is to make sure that
Yes,
when
no,
we enter into
absolutely.
it, that we're understanding and that it has the best interest of Thompson in mind. That's,
Any other thoughts? or discussion?
I'm good
Good.
with the questions I've read several times.
yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. All in favor of approving entering into an agreement regarding real property tax assessment and abatement on the 929 and 915 River Mill to River Mill Redevelopment LLC, say aye.
Right.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. I had forgotten. So with the board's approval. Can I add something to? Agenda item 11 and agenda item 13. I don't know how I forgot.
For appointments, you mean?
Yeah,
Put it on other business.
to the appointments?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just, when we get to other business, I'll bring it up. Okay. Rather than making a motion to add it.
Well, no, just make a motion when we get to other
When we get
business to
there.
add those, to
Correct.
whatever it may be.
Okay. All right, so appointment constable Kevin Freeland. Everybody wants to be a constable.
Yeah, I read his paperwork.
He's a
uh,
fire police in town.
Exactly. I'll
He's
make,
lived
I'll
here
make,
20 years.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Kevin Freeland as a constable, to end November 18th, 2025.
Second,
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this candidate for constable? All in favor of appointing Kevin Freeland to serve as constable, term to end November 18th, 2025, say aye.
aye.
Aye. All right, we have two resignations. We received a letter from John Rice. He is formally resigning from Planning and Zoning Commission. And Arthur Sigmund from the Agricultural Commission, Agriculture Commission.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignations with, what is it, regret? Regret. On John and Arthur.
And I'll second that.
Discussion.
John will be, dearly missed. Hopefully he does stay involved as much as he can. He's spread himself out very thinly over and served us for many, many decades. And, a heartfelt thank you for everything that he has done, without a doubt.
I don't think there's words to say how much we appreciate all the work that he and the time and the effort that he has put in. I used to joke about all the boards that John was on and everything he was involved in because and I think he seemed to enjoy his work here in Thompson, so it is really sad.
Not to mention the time he puts in at Teague as well.
Yes,
Yeah, and I'm hoping he starts to come back more as he gets stronger and we miss him.
As-
I
Yes.
miss him.
yes,
I miss him in town hall, so I always call him the mayor, because he's here more than me. Not really, but it seemed like it. So,
yes.
and I know he's gonna stay on as building committee. I think he tuned into the meeting the other day. Yeah,
That's-
so, and he was attempting to tune in tonight, but clearly was having some internet issues.
Yeah, he's forgiven compared to that.
Yeah, yeah, so, all right, all in favor of accepting those two resignations with regret, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, other business. I make a motion that we add two items. Well, actually, I'll just do one. Well, no, I'll do two items. Make a motion that we add the reappointment of John LaFontaine to the Community Fire Police Commission. Somehow he got left off.
Okay,
With a term to expire November 18th, 2025. And actually, let me just make that one motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion.
Oh, you mean to add it to the
To add
agenda?
it to the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor of adding this item to other business, say aye.
aye.
All right, let's just work on this. I make a motion that we reappoint John LaFontaine to the Community Fire Police Commission with a term to expire November 18th, 2025.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion on this reappointment? All in favor of reappointing John LaFontaine to the Community Fire Police Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and I make a motion that we add for discussion solar re-inspection fees. Again, that we revisit it from last week. Just to discuss.
Did you make a
when they
motion?
start. I'm making a motion that we add it to other business.
Okay, and I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor of adding solar fees to other business, solar re-inspection fees to other business, say aye.
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 Aye. All right. The reason I'm asking for this, I was approached by John Noley, our assistant building official today. And he asked if the board would reconsider the starting date for the solar inspection fees. He was out doing another having to institute another re-inspection on one of the jobs, and he mentioned to the solar company, the installer, that we would be starting to charge for re-inspections, and he was basically told, that's okay, we pay those all the time. He has four inspections tomorrow, anticipating that there'll be at least one or two re-inspections where he has to go back. And he just wishes for the board to reconsider just for the solar re-inspection,
What was the date that we set? That they were,
February 1st.
that's what I
He
thought.
has about
So what date
6
would
a
he
week.
like?
immediately.
Okay, so I'll make that motion that we revise, thank you. The solar re-inspection fees and to a start date of December 19th or effective now, December 19th, 2023.
I'll second that motion and open it up for discussion. I wish John could be here tonight, and I told him, I planned, I said 8 o'clock we should be done, but he had a prior engagement tonight. We're not talking about individuals, we're talking specifically about solar, so we're not talking about residents.
This
that are
is
doing
commercial
homework,
solar only, right?
Commercial solar only. So John's very concerned at the work that gets done by them. So.
My only comment thinking on this is that, I hope we don't make this a, common
Oh, thank
occurrence where we start to change the fees in order to make it appear that we're trying to collect more money. You know, take advantage of a situation. If you know what I'm saying,
Right,
okay? I mean, we don't wanna set that perception.
I can see your point of view. I do believe that town employee time is valuable.
I don't disagree.
Especially when we talk about a department that's already overtaxed. That's overworked. They can't get to all of the inspections that they have to do. Their time is so limited.
Is this a common practice in the industry? I think it sounds like from that comment that this is,
right.
that they would pay a reinspection fee in maybe other towns, and it's just Thompson that hasn't been charging it.
If
And they
if
take
we
it-
And they expect it. It sounds like,
Situation.
We do have a, somebody that's in the business.
It's common. If it was just the local contractor or the local homeowner doing their own repairs, yes, let's give some time for that. But if it's a commercial business that's operating haphazardly and costing our employees time away from
exactly.
doing the inspections they need to do, then there needs to be some type of consequence. And like I said, John's going out, he said, I got 4 tomorrow. I anticipate at least 1 will need a reinspection. So,
Will this prevent?
no, I don't think it'll prevent at all.
No?
They're gonna do the work that they're gonna do and,
Mhm.
you know, they should be doing it by code no matter what,
Right,
so. This information would have been great when we had passed this at the previous meeting, if we could have had this and, you know.
and I wish then that he could
Yeah,
have attended.
exactly. That's why I'm just saying, I don't want that, you know,
To be a standard.
exactly.
And I think, I mean, I put a high value in what John says. John's doing a lot of work for the town, at no charge still. So he's a volunteer. He has passed his building official, so he's officially a
Fantastic.
certified building official. So he can do everything that
Good.
our current building official can do, so he has that full capacity now. He's completely up to date on a lot of the standards and building code. He's fresh out of the
If he
test.
passed it, he should be.
Exactly.
If he isn't, we got a problem, but,
So, all right, so there's a motion on the floor. Any further discussion?
I'm good.
Okay, all in favor of adjusting the start date for the solar reinspection fees to today, AKA immediately, say aye. Aye. Right, I will let John know. I will open the floor now to citizen comments. Citizen comments. Start virtual. Yep, Ms. Clark, you are on.
Valerie Clark, I agree with Ken about the perception of retroactively voting in a change.
Any citizen comments from citizens here in the room? Okay, I'm seeing none. We will move on to agenda item 15, tax refunds. Oh, only three. I make a motion that we refund John E. Kimball $63.44, Diane M. Kimball $144.82, and Jason Williams $346.48 for a total of $554.74 in tax refunds.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion on these refunds? All in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Make a motion that we adjourn this meeting at 8:05 PM.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.